he never brought the pen back.
Tiger took the pen, right?
Stole that kid's pen.
So now we're still standing on this putting green, kind of waiting for things to happen. We're waiting for Spieth to come over, hopefully Rory. And the kid just a very faint voice back. You got that pen back? So
Foreplay brought to you by Barstool Sports, presented by our very good friends at Chevy. We love Chevy. Had a Chevy on the tee box at Barstool Classic last week, which was, I believe, Erica Nardini's biggest dream at the very beginning of the Barstool Classic. And Lisa Litvak texted her a picture of that Chevy EUV on the tee box, the 11th hole at Talon last week. And she said, my dream has finally come true. She was like hounding the sales team 4 years ago. We got to get a car on the tee box. I feel like that's a legitimate tournament, and Chevy made it happen. So big thanks to Chevy. Dan, I got to ask you, how was the Bahamas? I know I wasn't on last show. I was jealous you were in the Bahamas. How was the Bahamas?
The Bahamas was great. It definitely was a kick in the sack.
Were the Bahamas? Was the Bahamas?
How? I think the Bahamas is singular.
Did you see multiple Bahamas? Were you at like?
Yeah, actually, because my hotel was on Paradise Island and the golf course was on New Providence. The Bahamas was great. It was definitely a kick in the sack being on a plane to Atlanta and getting the notification that Tiger Woods had withdrawn. I have Tiger Woods. I have Tiger Woods tweet notifications set on my phone because you just never know when things are going to pop off. I think he's the only one. I think he might be the only one who I have, like, anytime Tiger tweets something, whether it's about the TGR Foundation or withdrawing from a tournament, I get a notification. So that sucked. But yeah, it was great. I mean, that's just the greatest week of all time. Albany is such not a real place. It's so hard to explain. Like, you guys got to come next year. It's an incredible week, and fruit salad is like $26, and it's just billionaires only, and it's crazy.
I'd go to the Bahamas. Yeah, I'm in.
A lot of yachts, I feel like.
A lot of yachts
there.
A shit ton of yachts, and the guy who built the place, this guy Joe Lewis, who owns, I think
the
it's
boxer.
called no, not the boxer. I think it's called more like the Jewish financier.
We're trying to get Trent smart. Trent's trying to get us fired on the right cylinders for a dozen trivia. We got a dozen trivia.
Anything that comes in my head, I'm just going to stay because I got to keep myself fresh.
So he built this incredible place, Albany. He built this marina, and his yacht doesn't fit. His yacht's too big for the marina, so he has to park his yacht somewhere else.
That's fucking incredible. Good for him. Good for him.
Good for him. That's right.
Victor Hovland, the whatever, 18 people. Is that how many people play in that event now
20.
These days?
20
people. Tiger's out there with Charlie. We got a great from the gallery question, actually. That was like, I tuned into the Hero. I noticed, let me make sure this guy gets some love. Daniel, favorite truly flavored black cherry. But he said, I tuned into the Hero Sunday, and Tiger and Charlie are in their red shirts. And he's, from the gallery question, was like, how many days of the year do you think Tiger suits up and goes red shirt? And I thought that was a great question. Like, is it commercial shoots? Does he always go red shirt for commercial shoots? What would determine I'm going to go Sunday red for a commercial shoot if it's on like Tuesday? Is it not big enough for him to do? And it got me thinking a lot about how often does Tiger actually suit up in Sunday red? Because the thought of him on Sunday just to go like hand out a trophy and sit on the broadcast for a few minutes and go full suit up is really fucking funny that he does that.
Well, we got a little bit of a look into this when we were at TaylorMade Media Day because his rack, the great rack of him and Rory, was right next to the table. And on the end,
did we ever tell that story publicly?
We did, yeah.
I don't know.
We did, yeah.
Did we tell that story? Okay.
I think so. I'm pretty sure we did.
Might have been the hardest Rory McIlroy's ever laughed, ever.
I don't know.
I thought we did tell
it on the podcast. I think
we'll tell it then.
Well, we were sitting there at TaylorMade Media Day, and we're just kind of staring at all the things around us, and they have all these clothes on racks. They have Rory McIlroy, they have Tiger Woods on the same one. They've got Ricky out there, they've got Scotty Scheffler, Colin Morikawa, the whole deal. And I'm kind of sitting there, and all the workers are getting ready, and they're getting ready for the photo shoots. And I say out loud, I said, "That's just a great rack." Mm-hmm. And then little did I know that there was a woman,
at the
a
table,
female, a worker there that was steaming the shirts on the Tiger rack. And I obviously was only looking at the Tiger red shirt.
Her chest was facing us, I will say.
So then the whole table's like, Jesus. Like, TaylorMade looks at me, they're like, whoa. And I was just like, no. Like, the red shirt, the Tiger Woods shirt plus the Rory McIlroy, that's an all-time rack. That's the best rack of all time.
Wow.
I was
It's right up there with
raking
Dolly
everything else.
Parton. That rack is so good. It's
I
between
wasn't
Dolly Parton
looking-
and that rack.
If you think I had any thoughts in my head aside from that red staring at me, I mean, that is, people go to museums all the time to see like historical artifacts and like, what did Winston Churchill wear when he signed this document? And you go to this like old school historical place and you're like, oh, look at, that's the pen they use. And dude, we were looking at the red mock neck sitting there in a fucking hall, like it was a grand hall, and this lady was just like steaming it. That's like one of the coolest things I've ever seen in my life. I touched it. We walked by and I kind of just like rubbed my finger on it.
Great.
Touched what?
I touched the shirt on the rack.
Touch the rack.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, we were
The
walking
rack,
by and I
sure.
kind of just stuck my finger out and just grazed my pinky on the red shirt.
I mean,
That's
if we had
all
all
time.
turned around and it had just been a woman standing there, we wouldn't take Frankie in public anymore. We would
Right.
not allow him.
Do we
to
all agree
be
it was a
public
fantastic
facing on
rack?
this podcast?
No, it was. It was just, the phrase, wow, that's a great rack. It's just not usually applicable to almost anything other than someone like derogatorily
Big-chested.
commenting on a woman.
It's like
You're not
a
going to
construction
get me to
worker.
say I don't enjoy. I enjoy all forms of racks. I like racks
Same.
of ribs. I like racks
Same.
of ribs. I like racks of tits. I like racks of clothing. I love them all.
For sure.
That's-
Yep.
I like racks of clothes. I'm
And
sorry,
that-
racks of money, like Danny was just doing. You got to spray the money around. Listen, I love all racks. Racks are all created equal. This one happened to be the best one. It had
And
Tiger Woods'
you-
shirt.
And you then told that story to Rory McIlroy, and he laughed a lot.
He thought it was
belly laughed.
hilarious. He thought
Yeah,
it was
he belly laughed.
hilarious.
I mean, what
He
are the
could-
odds of you being able to use the term rack when there's multiple racks involved? I mean, it's like insane.
That's what I'm saying. That situation is almost.
It
never
reminded
arised
me
before.
oh my god,
Reminds
that
me of like a
awesome
Family Guy bit.
It reminded me of
Apparently
Austin
nothing.
Powers. We're like, oh my gosh, look at that huge, and then he's like, and then they
Lol.
never say
Johnson.
that. Yeah, Johnson.
Yeah, that's true.
So Tiger for this shoot did go to that great rack where he had a red polo. So I'm wondering,
I asked him once.
what did he say?
He said that it's actually a final round thing. It's really like a mean business thing. It's not necessarily a Sunday thing.
No, I get that, but I'm saying, like, does he, like,
He doesn't wear it when he's not playing, he said, on Sundays.
but I'm saying, like, what's the criteria for red versus purple at, like, an appearance? Because for the TaylorMade thing, he was going, like, they had red and black at TaylorMade Media Day. Is there a time when he's like, this sponsor isn't big enough, we're not going red, we're going, like, fucking white? Like, how does that work?
I guess it's a peek into his psychology. Like Dan just said, when he asked him, it was business-like. It's not necessarily on Sundays, I'm going to try to win this tournament. It's, is this event important enough to me that I'm going to put on the red? TaylorMade, I'm guessing they pay him a decent amount of money every year. He's like, I'll wear the red.
Yeah, I don't know
But
if he
then-
chooses his outfits, though, for shoots. I think there's like a wardrobe situation.
But he's got a say in it, right?
Yeah, I guess if he doesn't want to wear a shirt, he's not fucking wearing the shirt.
Like, think about, I'm sure he's very serious about his, he's building these golf courses, right? But I have definitely seen him out with hilarious pictures scouting land in like
cargo
a blue,
pants on, and
cargo
shit?
pants, like a blue shirt and like weird shoes. So maybe it's clearly important to him, but it's not. I'm not going to wear the red polo to scout out this property.
Right. So yeah, I think that's an interesting cutoff of like, this is big enough today. I'm going red fucking polo, and I was amazed that he did it for the broadcast. I'm trying to think, there was something else that we were blown away that he showed up in the full suit up. I'm trying to remember what that was, but yeah, it's a good question. It's an interesting look into his psychology.
I want the PGA Tour to retire that uniform once he's done.
Yeah, hang in the rafters.
Hang
Can't
in
wear
the
red
rafters.
polo.
It's like no one's wearing, no one's wearing 42 in. That's probably wasn't the best comparison.
Either way, how far have we come from when Phil Mickelson was wearing the Sunday red after Tiger's accident? I mean, wow.
Remember when
Patrick
Patrick
Reed
Reed
wore it?
would just occasionally wear it just on a
Yep.
normal day, and we're like, what's happening?
Yeah.
That's a
It's
peek
like I
into
just
his
really like
psyche.
the way red looks on my complexion. The red and the black is a really good look for me.
From Bolt to Blazer, Equinox to Silverado, Chevy EVs are for everyone everywhere. I know we already talked about Chevy a little bit and the car and the classic and the whole deal. this Bolt EUV that we had on the tee box, first time I actually really got to look at one of these EVs, it is fantastic. And the fact that it just doesn't have an engine and they're just runs on a battery is incredible. And now the fact that Chevy is making these puppies in all kinds of different styles that you've come to know and love, how can he not just be a huge Chevy guy at this point?
I think Frankie may have put a soft promise on becoming a Chevy guy pretty soon.
Did you?
Yeah. So I said I got my email from my current car company saying that you have to make your decision in the next 5 months. You have your lease coming up. What do you want to do? Do you want to expect? Do you want to extend? Do you want to do that? You want to buy it back? Do you want to get a new one? So the first thing I did was I closed out of that email and I went to Chevrolet.com and I just started building. And I said last episode, there's nothing more fun than building out specs of cars. You do the different trims, the different interiors, get wacky with it. Oh, a beige interior on a black car. Wow, that looks classy. So it's very, very fun to be able to do that. There's no better time than this time right now. Like when you get the car, you have the car. It's just like a part of your life. But like the build up, going to the place, talking to the guys, seeing it inside the showroom. I'm excited for all that. I'm really excited for all that.
I agree. You're making a lot of sense. They're affordable now, so you don't have to be some rich person to get an EV. With an established full-line brand like Chevrolet can offer all kinds of EV vehicles with the volume, the variety, and the value customers all over the world have come to expect. Chevrolet EVs for everyone, everywhere.
Speaking of Tiger Woods, did you see Pat Perez's wife like absolutely went crazy on Tiger
Was that
Woods?
real?
And I don't know. I'm asking you guys.
That was real.
Wow.
I think so, right? I think
Yeah,
that's pretty real.
She's a bit of a wild card.
But what a fall from grace that relationship's turning into be. The Tiger Pat Perez one.
I'm working on a piece for next week that's kind of a wrap up of the whole year and stuff, and just going back through because this was just the craziest year of all time.
Wrap up.
Yeah, wrap up. And yeah, you're right. Are you referring to like what he said? Remember at Riviera when he was like, I don't know what's going on with Phil. Like, I'm with Tiger all the way. I love the way Tiger's handled this whole thing.
So we've eaten dinner at Pat Perez's house, and he
Right.
made like a speech like over drinks being like, Tiger Woods is our Lord and Savior. And all these other fucking assholes that don't give this guy like every single piece of like everything they own is because of this man. Well, you think I give a fuck because I don't have a bigger checkbook? No, I shouldn't have any money. I was doing nothing in my life, and Tiger Woods is the reason why he did this whole. We were ready to run through a wall.
Right, because he's a really
money
interesting
talks.
case of he's one of the guys who came up with Tiger and saw all the purses expand while Tiger was dominating. So he had a front row seat to that. And yeah, like Frankie's saying, at dinner, he is just saying, we owe everything to this guy.
He's
all
a loyal
of the money that we all
motherfucker to
have.
Tiger Woods.
He
Loyal.
was, yeah, like he would get very passionate about it. So it is interesting to see where that relationship has gone.
Yeah, and then, I mean, somebody writes him a check, and he's like, well, I got to take that check.
Yeah.
I mean, none of that other stuff matters, which I get. I don't, but it is publicly, it's tough, too, because that dinner, Ashley Perez cooked us that dinner. She, like, made us dinner. Yeah. We were at the home. We're
They're
playing
great
basketball.
people. Don't get me wrong.
They've always
They're
been
fantastic
super nice
human
to us.
beings. It doesn't where they get their money to me doesn't change who they are. It's just now if you're going on Instagram, my gosh, like you can't. She wrote something about like, oh, is this what happens when people drive under the influence? You like how many people could he have killed? It's just
she
like,
went low. She went
Jesus
low.
Christ, man. It's like let's just like turn the phone off.
It
for
is.
the night
It
and
is a
just, like,
situation where like, not to get into politics, but when like the world is so politicized, and you have people in your life that think differently than you, and you allow those biases or thoughts to separate your friendship when that's not the way it should be at all. Like you just gotta look through the bullshit and be like, we're friends. Like at the end of this, like I get that. Where's this money coming from? Who's on what side? Like it's getting in the golf world. It's getting to a point now where it's never ever been before. Where Phil is coming out during a press conference and saying, I think I'm on the right side of history here, which basically makes everyone makes everyone pick a side. And that gets very ugly. So, and then it goes down the hill to the point where Pat Perez, who loves Tiger Woods, and I think they had a great relationship in the past, people in their circles are now talking shit about the other side because of all of this golf drama, which is insane that it's gotten here.
Well, yeah, we went from like, hey, I'm going to play in this other golf tournament this weekend instead of that one to like, well, actually, you pretty much killed 7 people when you drove your car off a cliff. We went there overnight.
Like, what the hell?
And you're kind of like, wait, what? Like we're just, it's just people playing different golf tournaments, whatever, which we've obviously discussed at length, but you're right. It is, I think it flipped a couple things, which we talked about. One is when the Trumpster got involved, because that just, when it was at wherever, Bedminster, wherever it was, that instantly ignited a lot of feelings for different people, just seeing him out there, seeing him involved in the pro-am, the whole deal. And then the lawsuit, which every pro we've had on, we had Harris English on, we've had all these different folks on. They've been like, yeah, it was all cool. I get it, until they fucking sued us. And then it got really personal. And it feels like things heavily flipped. But those were aggressive. Those are Instagram is where she was firing off.
It was a comment underneath.
It was an Instagram
something.
comment. Yeah, it's a weird one. We've talked about this, just how fast everything's happened, because again, the first live event was like less than 6 months ago. I think it was 5 months ago. Just how fast all of this has happened. And Pat Perez, again, was looking through kind of his year, because he's been someone that, it's an interesting prism to look through the live stuff through this guy. Remember when there were those rumors about, I don't know if the money is front loaded or if it's like a advance against future earnings, and someone asked him, about his $10 million. He goes, oh, nope, it all came in one piece. It was fucking unbelievable. That's what he said.
And listen, Pat Perez has been huge for this brand. The guy gave us a shot to go out there and play with him. He opened up his doors to us legitimately, like showed us the tour of his house, all his Jordans. I'm a Pat Perez guy. I enjoy him and his personality. I think he was huge for the PGA Tour. He was an awesome guy. It's just, I think he's catching himself into some like weird shit right now. And it comes with, that's like when you sign on that dotted line with Liv, you knew this was going to happen. And he probably knows it. I mean, he's like the most real guy out there. You don't think he's sitting there telling people like, oh, I'm going to get a fucking shit ton of shit for this. Like he was saying that to his buddies, being like, it's over for me. Like my public perception is going to change forever. But I also just got to check for however many millions of dollars to come fucking play a sport that I wasn't even making the cut on. It's like crazy.
Yeah, he's made a killing by that move too. Not just the upfront money. I mean, he's on the fucking Aces or whatever their team is, and they just
made $8 million,
right?
Remember
he
when
he made $8 million?
Remember that stretch where he didn't break 80 twice, and then I think it was like he didn't break 80 twice, but made $3 million that week, and he made more than the winner on the PGA Tour. It was insane.
It's hard to hate on that. It's just hard to hate on that move by Pat Perez.
And he wore the suit with all the money on it. Yeah, he's been a character.
Yep.
Someone gave me $30 million. I think I'd wear a suit with money on it.
Fuck yeah.
Me personally, you guys know I'm a man for theatrics. I'll show up with a fucking money tie on for sure. It's like I have all this.
I love it.
It's not only in my bank account, it's on my clothes. It's everywhere. It's fucking money guy. I got money everywhere.
A couple administrative things. We got Myrtle Beach episode 3 is coming out. Is that right? We're on episode 3 now?
Yep.
That's right.
Tonight.
Myrtle Beach was great. We had ourselves an absolute blast. We played every course we played was very different, which I liked. And a couple of them really, really popped. This started to get into the point of the trip where now Dan, this is like 2 days after he joined the crew is when we're doing this episode 3 here. Starting to get heated. You like to win. I like to win. We're on the same team. We're in kind of a must-win situation against Borelli and Trent Ryan. And things came down to the absolute wire in this match.
Yes, for the shark tooth. Obviously, very, very important.
For the shark tooth.
The shark tooth.
Yeah, the whole entire series was great. I think it's a totally different side that we haven't seen, where it was like, a lot of our videos are mainly like, here's the golf course. This is why you should come to this place. That's what the travel series really is. It's like, look how cool this spot is. Look at all the amazing people that work here. We're going to give you drone footage, and then we're also going to play a fun match, and there's probably going to be a bunch of laughs. This, I felt like, was the first time where it was like, on the 12th hole of this match, it's me and Trent looking at each other being like, if we don't win this, we're gonna like kill ourselves. Like this is I think
you said fuck these guys at one point.
I did at one point. I said fuck these guys. Like
that was weird. It
just got very, very intense. Like it was just, we had to just keep playing better golf. So it was fun to get back into that mode. I don't know if it was like the home run derby aspect. Like I just felt like very sporty that week. I felt very competitive in Myrtle Beach, and then we also. Myrtle Beach is that kind of place. You can play all your matches with your buddies, and then you can go have like one of those crazy blue shark drinks, like overlooking the ocean, and then you have like a Ferris wheel in the background. So a lot of it's very fun. It's very laid back, but also the golf is pristine. I mean, come on, guys. That's some of the best golf we've seen ever.
There's like a million courses there. There's like
Yeah.
70 courses or something within the Myrtle Beach confines, which is a lot of golf we saw all over the place. A lot of really good ones, different styles. So yeah, it was fun showcasing Myrtle Beach. Like you're saying, is this episode the one where we did have that? What did we get, like fish and chips or something, and then drinks on the water and like that like pier we were at?
Oh yeah, I don't even know what episode that might have been in the last episode.
Remember
I can't
that?
remember.
That was fantastic.
Didn't
I
we
don't think I
fillet
was
a
there. I
fish?
think that
When's
might have been
that
the
coming
first
in?
episode. I think that might have been the first episode.
We filleted a fish too.
Yeah.
We did fillet a fish. Is that in this episode? I don't know
I
what's.
can't remember, man, but we did a lot of shit in Myrtle Beach. It's an
What a
amazing place.
tease we're doing right now. We just don't know what's in the video.
But it could be in any of them, so you got to check them all out. You know,
Right.
Nice.
That guy
Nice.
was like a Food Network star in the making. That guy.
that guy was incredible. That guy should have his own show for sure. I think
He
he's
was
actually
ready for the
trying to.
camera. He's
Yes.
a camera friendly person, big time.
Very much so.
And then we got our merchandise is coming out in PGA Tour 2K. Is that correct now too?
Yeah, starting
So-
today.
Yeah, this is the Mark
Let's
Burns
go.
tweet from a couple days ago where we talked about it a little bit on the last show, but starting December 8th through the 14th is the Breaking 90 game mode challenge on PGA Tour 2K23, and the more times you break 90, the more Barstool golf merch that will be available to you. Is
Great
my
deal that
understanding.
is.
You hear
gotta
that?
play
You
a-
hear that sentence, Trent? You just take a step
I
back and
know.
just like examine that sentence.
I know.
I've done, yeah, we talked about it a little bit last show, but yeah, I mean, I just sometimes sit and I think about it. It's pretty amazing that we, did breaking 100, breaking 90, and then people liked it enough where they're like, 2K was like, hey, we'll put this in the video game and try to get people to do what you're trying to do. It's very cool. It's very cool.
Getting into a video game is so insane. You can be a professional athlete and not even like, obviously you're in the game, but they won't like curate your face to look like you because you're kind of just like not a star player. You have your name in there, but it doesn't look anything like you. Like the fact that they're doing this for us is
Max Homa.
otherworldly.
He tweeted at us and was
Max
like,
was jealous.
I
Yeah,
can't
Max
believe you're
is
in
not
this
in the
game
game.
and I'm not in the fucking game.
Yeah. No, it's stunning
Surreal.
stuff.
So yeah, go check it out. Obviously, PGA Tour 2K is it's a blast. They got so many golf courses. They're gonna have us merchandise, the whole deal in there. So make sure you check that puppy out. And then Friday, so tomorrow for everyone listening, is the last day that you can order merchandise from the Barstool store and have a guaranteed delivery by Christmas. So store.barstoolsports.com. We would prefer it if you click that little foreplay tab there. You can go to brands, foreplay, scroll through that puppy. We got Mac Weldon, we got Peter Millar in there, we got Roback, Unreal, UNRL, hats, accessories, head covers, the whole deal. All in the shop still. So I know we did the whole deal for Black Friday, Cyber Monday. You probably saw us tweeting about it. You probably saw us put stuff on Instagram. Well, you can still get that stuff. It's not 20% off anymore, but you can still just get stuff. So if you missed it, make sure you go to store.barstoolsports.com, check out a bunch of our gear, order that shit by Friday, and it's guaranteed delivery by Christmas. We're a pro
I've got a
Christmas
couple
podcast.
announcements in regards to merchandise. I want to announce the two names of our winners. So this is a big moment. Last year we had, so this is Trent and I's winners. So you guys, this
How do
is
we
Trent
find
and
the
I.
winners? Can I find the winners?
Yeah, I just like have been
You'll
working
find your
on it.
winners.
I don't know. You can go find your winners. I've been working on it. Worked with the merchandise team. We went through. There was thousands of people to choose from, so we ended up just curating it into a system in which it just randomly picked a name. I couldn't do it on one of those spin wheel things on my
Seems fair.
own system because there was thousands of names, so they had to do it in their back end where they basically just hit this button and it shot out a name. So I've got two guys that now are going to be playing golf with Trent and I at Colonial Springs Golf Club here on Long Island. Then we're going to go get a feast at Borelli's. These are going to be two separate times. So these are two separate winners. All you have to do is spend $100 in the Barstool store on Foreplay merch and you automatically entered. Our two winners. Last year we had Anthony Testi and he brought his buddy Angus and it was a great time. Tony Ballsack.
Love
Unfortunately,
those.
this time we don't have the funniest names. I wish that we had more names that had to do with male genitalia, but we do not. Zach
Shame.
Barroner is the first winner. Zach Barroner. I believe he might be from Chicago, if I can remember correctly. I don't
Great
know, but if you're
purchase.
Zach Barroner, you
Great
reach out
purchase.
to me. I don't know if you have a Twitter. I don't know if you have a Facebook. I don't know if you have an Instagram, but you have to reach out to me. Zach Barroner is the first winner. And then Anthony Vincent. I believe this guy's
Wow.
from the Pittsburgh area. Anthony Vincent, two first names. So you always have to be wary about guys like
Really
that.
great.
Hopefully that's like Trent Ryan. You guys are going to fit right in. So
Michael Jordan.
Michael Jordan. That's correct.
Ricky
So
Bobby.
Anthony Vincent and Zach Barriner, you are the winners.
Can't
We
think of
always
one, my
come
brain's
through.
not
We
working.
have our winners. So for anyone that did not win that competition, you still have Danny Rappaport's Quaker foursome, which is incredible. And then Riggs has a couple of them that are insane. So Riggs obviously has the cottage, and then at Greyhawk, the foursome. So
I'll do mine next week. My announcement. I don't want to steal your thunder of Barriner and the 2 first name guys, so I'm not going to steal your thunder. But next week I'll announce. I think a 3-night stay is what I offered up for the Pinehurst house. We got to talk about Pinehurst, by the way. Crazy situation going on.
I was going to ask you if you're plugged in on that.
I was a little plugged out of everything for the last 4 or 5 days, but I'm being plugged back in. I mean, domestic terrorism in Pinehurst. They are near Pinehurst, but they basically went to 2 different power stations and shot them up like in a very deliberate way. So there's just no power in Southern Pines or Pinehurst for, I think they said the earliest it would be is like Friday or Saturday is the earliest the power will be back.
When you say shot them up, what do you mean?
Like AR-15s, and they purposely like shot the like bullets into to basically destroy the power, like transfusions, I guess they are, or whatever.
That sounds like a Call of Duty mission.
Did they kill humans or no?
I don't think, from what I've seen, there weren't any fatalities or injuries, but they like in a very deliberate act. I think the sheriff came out and said like these people knew what they were doing. They have no idea what the motive was. They have no idea who any suspects are, but they went with AR-15s and shot, I believe, 2 different like stations. And so the power is out. At Pinehurst, they had to relocate everyone to the Carolina Hotel. And then they're trying to do food service because they have a generator there or something like that. But I've been trying to get up to date on the situation. Obviously, I don't like live there, so I didn't really know what was going on, but no power at the house. So I imagine the freezer and all that, everything's ruined, but hopefully everything's fine. I think it's pretty chilly there at night and stuff, so people have no fucking power.
It's amazing
a really bad
how
situation,
much
actually.
news is happening on any given day where that didn't even come across my radar. Didn't come across, doesn't look like it came across Frankie's desk, didn't come across my radar. That's really something.
Dude, and I had my buddies in town, so we've been drinking it starting at 8 a.m. every day, playing golf, having big matches, having a good time. And I'm seeing this like domestic terrorism in Pinehurst come across my desk. I'm like, what? Like, what is going on here? So yeah, pretty wild situation. Hopefully the power will be back on by the time one of these winners gets to go to the home for 3 nights and enjoy their stay. And then I'm also going to bring a foursome. So one of the winners will bring 3 friends out. We'll go play at Greyhawk, obviously the host of the Barstool Classic Championship. Great relationship with them up there. They're the fucking best. So we'll go out there. We'll have a couple cocktails, couple Trulies, play a little bit of golf, and enjoy ourselves. So I got 2 winners to announce next week.
Awesome.
I guess I'll do the week after. We'll roll it out before the holidays.
Hell yeah.
We'll roll it out. Game time, baby. We're talking on this show. We talk about the Blues, the Islanders, going to games, going to venues, going to concerts, whatever. Nothing better. Nothing better. It's what life's all about. It's what makes life worth living. Nobody does it better than Game Time. We've used them for, I don't know, a couple of years now. The interface, the app, the lowest prices. It's incredible that something like this exists, and it makes it so easy to just go to whatever the hell you want to go to.
Go to a Nashville Predators game. Frankie, big fan, wearing the jersey right now. I'm sure they've got a bunch of games coming up. If you want to go to a hockey game, like Rick said, anything, hockey, basketball, concert, Game Time is the place to go. You go
Islanders
there,
are
you
going
get a
to
ticket.
Arizona. Islanders are going to Arizona in the next week or 2, so you got to go check them out at that
I'm
little
going.
high school rink you guys got there in Arizona.
I want to
But
see
it's
our
gonna
boy. Apparently, the environment in there is fantastic.
Yeah,
That's what
Mullen
they keep
Arena, I
saying.
think
You
it's
keep
called.
saying that.
Well, yeah, it's
12,500.
Yeah, it's very, very small capacity, but I think the place does get electric. We've been going all year. I've been using Game Time legitimately all year, starting with the Yankees. I went to a bunch of Yankees games this year thanks to Game Time. Last minute, nothing better than just sitting around being like, what do you want to do tonight? You want to go to a movie? You want to go to bowling? Let's go see a fucking sporting event. You check the app, you're like, holy smokes, it's actually like tickets are down. Like the game's in 2 hours. You think we can make it? That rush, getting in the car, heading to the stadium, you're like, holy shit, 2 hours ago we were sitting there holding our dicks. Now all of a sudden we're going to a Yankee game? Yankees Twins? Are you sitting under the lights? Come on.
Get tickets to concerts, NBA, NHL, even golf, all on the Game Time app. Download the Game Time app. Go to the account tab to create a login. Redeem code FORE, F-O-R-E, for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Download Game Time. Last minute tickets. Lowest price guaranteed. I got a quick little story too. We played at the Raven yesterday, which is a public course near the airport in Phoenix. Kind of an awesome spot. One of those that you get.
Edgar Allan Poe. Just keep myself fresh.
Smart. It's a good idea. One of those courses that a lot of people highlight as underrated and good value. Golf's very expensive in Phoenix, Scottsdale area. Very expensive. Raven is not crazy. It's like 130 or something, but fantastic. And I know 130 is expensive, but compared to it's like TPC goes for like $400 or $500 this time of year. It's nuts. So Raven, great spot. But we're out there, and we're behind two foursomes of Asian ladies that are probably middle-aged. We didn't I think they were like middle-aged Asian ladies, and they were great. They played lightning fast. They're having a great time. And then afterwards, they were in the bar and they were having a bunch of drinks, had a nice lunch. And we have our demographic, right? If we walk into a sports bar and there are, a table of 8 like 28-year-old white dudes with like tailor-made hats on, we're like, oh, they're probably going to know who we are. These ladies were, again, they're awesome. It was like our crew, me and my 3 buddies, and their crew were like the 2 groups at this bar on a fucking Monday having drinks after a round of golf, whatever. And then on their way out, they stopped and were like, hey, we're huge Barstool fans. Can we take a picture? And I was like, I got to be honest. We never get this from this demographic. Our demographic, like I said, is pretty fucking straightforward and doesn't veer a ton, even though we're trying to get better at that. And they stopped and were like, we'd love to take a picture. We're big fans. Took a quick picture, and they marched on their way out and had a great day. It just blew me away. I was completely shocked at apparently the reach that we have now.
That's a beautiful thing. That's a beautiful story.
It was great.
Did you ask them what kind of, like, do they listen to the podcast? Do they watch the YouTube?
I'll be honest, they didn't speak. From my knowledge, they weren't like, I don't think English was their first language. So even when they asked to like take a picture, they very quickly were just kind of like, hey, we take a picture real quick? It wasn't a ton of conversation. I was like, yeah, absolutely. And then they said, thank you. They were super nice. They went on their way. So we didn't have like a deep conversation at all. It was very quick.
Interesting.
That's awesome though. It's nice to know. Cool. Nice to know that we're broad like that. Yeah, I got a couple selfie requests. I mean, the increase since I've joined this podcast is really something. Like I went to the country club or the course where I grew up. And there was like 5 people who came up to me and were like, "Yeah, awesome." So you guys
is that the one where Frankie and Trent aren't allowed out there?
No, they played. I still haven't finished my investigation as to how they were allowed in. But, no, I have a little tale as well. I was playing golf this last weekend, and I was playing with 3 other guys, 3 buddies. Harris Rabin, I know you're a listener. I was playing with Harris Rabin, and they're all carrying their bags. Very clearly that they're going to carry their bags, and I kind of asked for a push cart because my back, right? We talk about my back being a bit of an issue on this podcast, and they were like, "Yeah, sorry, we don't have any push carts."
Stretch like obviously fucking Gumby.
Exactly, and obviously I wasn't going to be the one guy who took a cart. So once the cart wasn't an option and the push cart wasn't an option, then I carried my bag. My back completely locked after 14 holes. Yeah, I played 14 holes in even par. And I couldn't even finish the last 5 because my back. Do you guys carry your bags? Like, I guess it's probably been like a year or 2. I know that people are going to say, "Oh, what a pussy," blah, blah, blah. we take carts when we film. I use push carts like pretty frequently. I don't carry my bag very often. I don't think I could play today still.
Caddies at your elite clubs and stuff. Other people carrying your bag.
When was the last time we carried, you think?
I carried pretty recently. I have not carried in a while. Fall golf, I played and just carried.
This is carry season. This is carry season where it's a little chilly out. You get leaves all over the place. Nice to stay a little warmer. I carry when we go to St. Louis at Bogey Hills Country Club, where we're having the Barstool Classic there this next coming year. But they do cart path only from like fucking October through March, which is stupid, by the way.
That's tough.
So it's a short course, so it's like, if you're going to do cart path only the whole time, it's more fun to just walk if you're in a walking spot. So we just walk a good amount. But I like walking. Walking's nice, but my back hasn't been thrown out. I have a crazy story from yesterday too. We're on the 9th hole at Raven, and it's a pretty tree-lined place. It actually has some Sage Valley type vibe. Some of the images, it's like very green, beautiful, kind of like corridors that go through, which is why it's so cool because you're in Phoenix, you don't expect it, whatever. So we haven't, long story short, we haven't really seen anyone all day. A couple times we wait on the, we let like a threesome behind us go because they were flying and we were trying to chill and hang out. Other than that, we almost didn't see really anyone or chat with anyone. You're kind of on your own hole. You get to the tee, maybe you see somebody out in the fairway, but you don't really see that many people, whatever. We get to the 9th hole. My buddy Jeremy, who actually played pretty well throughout the day, had his worst shot of the day. Hits like this low, like barely off the ground, way left driver that goes into these bushes like 50, 40 yards in front of the tee, gone in the bushes. And we're just like, oh, shit, bad, whatever. Bummer, Jay. You got to reload, whatever. 5 seconds later, Australian guy comes out of those bushes and he's like, oh, you almost got my kneecap there, mate. And he's got on a full fly fishing garb and a fly fishing rod. And we were just like, and he was far enough away that we didn't really get to talk to him. He kind of just walked like away behind the tee box and went away. And we were like, we're in Arizona. Like, there can't be a trout for 1,000 miles.
Right.
Like,
how's the fishing in Arizona? I can't imagine.
I was like, did I miss the pond in this story? Or
it took me 5 minutes to tee off
Pro
after that because I was just in tears. Like, we just were standing there like, what the fuck? And then we actually invoked Frankie. We were like, that's a simulation. Like, that guy can't have just been there. Like, there's no
Right.
way that guy.
That's a glitch in the system. Like, they unfortunately, when they were plotting us all around, they put a fisherman in the middle of the desert, and they're like,
fucking
fuck.
Larry, you put a fisherman in Scottsdale. Why did you have to
What
do
the
that?
fuck did you do, Larry?
And he just
Third time this week we found a guy outside of his zone.
It was to this moment the most perplexing thing I've probably ever witnessed in my whole life. Just Australian guy in Phoenix in full fly fishing gear behind some bushes on the 9th tee at Raven, and then he just walked away.
That's just a lot
Did
to
he find
handle.
it? Did your guy find his ball? Was it near him over there?
No, he goes, oh, it almost took off my kneecap there, mate, but it's right over here by me. You'll see it. We're like, all right, great. We got up there, never found it.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, no, that
definitely
guy wasn't
that guy
real.
probably. Yeah, that guy did not exist. I don't think.
You never actually saw anybody yesterday.
Boy, we were like, do we need to leave? Like, we can't. This is
Like
unacceptable.
Westworld.
Totally. We were like,
right.
yeah, it was.
What is the squad that's out there, Riggs? Are these college friends? Who's there?
It's 3 of my best buddies from home. Just kind of like day ones. We went to, we played high school hockey and middle school hockey together, street hockey, whatever. And they're the guys that I do the most golf trips with. They probably do 2 Arizona trips a year, I would say. And then we usually do a Pinehurst trip or 2. And then we have our big trip. That's 12 guys. That's the one we're doing Big Cedar next year. We did Pinehurst this year. Last year we did Erin Hills. The year before we couldn't do because of COVID. We got COVIDed out. And then the year before that we went to Cabot. So I think actually in 2 years we're going to do 5-year anniversary of the trip. We're going to, or the 5th annual trip. We're going to do Cabot. We're going to return to there. But yeah, it's like just these guys. My brother wasn't on this trip, but it's like my brother, 4 or 5 of his best buddies, and then 4 or 5 of my best buddies from growing up, and we kind of do a handful of golf trips here.
We're recording this on a Tuesday, so the Islanders are playing the Blues tonight on Long Island. The Blues are in town. They lost a heartbreaker to the Rangers last night, so hopefully they can lose 2 in a row. I hate when a team is on a back-to-back and they lose a heartbreaker the night before. You know they're coming in with fucking bad blood tonight.
I agree. I think this is a trap game for betting because people are going to be like, oh, they're back-to-back, they're on the road, whatever. I think the Blues are going to win tonight, but they are a weird hockey team, dude. They're like 11-14 now, and they started 3-0. They lost 8 in a row. Then they won 7 in a row, and now they've lost like 4 in a row. It's really weird.
Yeah. Thomas Grice, the old Islanders, playing against us tonight. A lot of signs are showing a bet against the Islanders, even though they're like minus 185 favorites tonight. So it should be an interesting one to bet. I'm obviously riding hard on the Isles, but speaking of hockey, I always keep. How many times am I going to have to wear this guy's jersey? I mean, I
thought you only had to do it one time.
No, I told him.
I got to go back through.
I told him I would wear it for like 4 shows or something like that. I was
you
like, that's
committed
like 2
to
weeks.
a shockingly long period.
I'll put it on. He texted me this morning, like, what a way to start the show. The guy listens to every single show. We get him pumped up for his ice hockey games, and then he beats the Islanders. If the Islanders miss the playoffs by 4 points, I'm taking Matt Duchene's life. Like, he's beaten the Islanders twice and then like laughed about it in my face after each one.
I think. Go ahead.
Frank's not a very good negotiator.
I saw a video of Bars. I follow the Islanders on Twitter, so that's kind of the way I follow them. That guy still looks incredible even after a full hockey game. I watched an interview with him.
He's a hot guy.
Who
He's
we
a Hawkeye,
talking
and
about?
Barzal.
Oh
And
my
I feel
God.
like
He cut his hair.
hockey might be the sport where the guys look the most like beaten up after a game. Because football, I don't know if it's the helmets or maybe they're not sweating quite as much, but hockey, you just look like you've been.
Dude, I sat on the glass the other night, and I've watched hockey my whole life. I played a little bit of roller hockey, point per game guy here in Bethpage at the roller rink.
Like
but
the Z League.
point per game roller hockey player is just what I am statistically. But they, things like you get some bruises because guys are hitting into you pretty hard, and like they're like giving you little checks in the corner. But then you watch a professional ice hockey game, and I was sitting on the glass the other day, and you can't believe these guys like have regular skin. Like every single moment they're getting destroyed. I'm talking sticks in their arms and their backs. How are they not just completely bruised up from toe to their head? Do they just have like the strongest skin of all time now? Have they just developed no blood vessels underneath their skin?
They probably are quite bruised, I would guess, right, Riggs?
But like,
Oh, yeah.
the
Big
amount they get hit is actually laughable. It's laughable. Like a defenseman in the NHL is maybe the hardest job in the world.
During like NHL playoffs, once you get to the third and fourth round, they talk like not a single person on the team is even close to 100% health. Like,
yeah.
Not a single person. You're just so bruised and battered. But you're right. I think it was whenever 10 or 15 years ago, I remember ESPN did this like analytical judgment of like the physically hardest sports to play. And hockey was number 2 behind boxing. Boxing was number 1. Hockey was literally number 2.
Well, we were talking about this.
We talk a lot about it. Like my buddies and I, obviously, like who played hockey forever. And like when we go to a game, like you're talking about, Frankie, or look, I'm like, I cannot believe we did that. Like that's unimaginable that I could just go do that. I couldn't, not even close.
Well, Riggs, we were talking about this with JT Comfer on the Avs, and I was asking because I'm basically a hockey novice before I started this podcast, and I was asking, in the NBA, the best players play like 38 minutes, right? 39 minutes out of 40, whatever it is, 48 minutes. And you guys were telling me that like the best players in the league don't even play half the game, and that was astounding to me.
Yeah,
that's how taxing it is. That there's never been one human who's just a cyborg who's like, he plays 75% of the game because he's just that fit. It's that difficult.
Forwards
no
play
one
like
on earth
35
can do
seconds.
it.
I was going to say like especially forwards, like I bet, McDavid and those guys like Crosby, they play under 20 minutes a game and the games are 60 minutes long. Defensemen can play almost half the game because they can just kind of park the bus a little bit more and in the D zone and they don't have to but forward, you're forechecking, you're kind of skating the whole length of the ice, full speed. And I always equated to people of like, it's basically riding a bike up a mountain for the whole time. That's what a shift in hockey is. So you almost can't do it longer than 40, 50 seconds at full speed. Otherwise you lose that edge and because you just run out of gas. And that little difference is like somebody will just skate around you and score. Like you just can't compete. You can't skate hard because you're out of gas. So you have to get off the ice. That's why there's so much like the strategy around dumping the puck in and just like changing is huge because you just have to change. What's it, Mighty Ducks 2, when she's like, change players. She's like trying to figure out what the terminology is, but you do have to do that all the time. Otherwise, you'll just get dominated when you're tired out there.
Sometimes when I watch football, I miss the contact a little bit. I miss those days when you're just roughing it, but then you'll watch again. Like I don't even remember what game or what teams were playing. A guy was going across the middle and just got basically decapitated, basically how every tackle was in the 90s in the NFL. And then you remember like, oh yeah, that's not something I want to sign up for. I like, guys being dudes hitting each other. That's fun. But then when like a real hit happens, you don't want to be involved with that. I remember, Riggs, like you're saying, where like teams aren't nearly healthy enough, like at a certain point during the season. I remember every year when we played football, like 5 or 6 games in, they would always give us the, there's a difference between hurt and injured speech. Yeah. And you just they're basically saying like, suck it up and get out there. That stuff I don't miss, but sometimes I miss roughing it up a little bit.
I agree with that. I definitely agree with that. I'm a competitor. So like, dude, the fact that you get like, we used to be able to physically just compete against another human being in something that mattered at the time, like it really mattered, is such a crazy thought. I'm 35 now. It's been fucking 15 years or whatever. It's like to be actually preparing all week and then all day for a moment where I'm going to go out there and I'm going to face off against other human beings that are preparing too. And I'm physically going to try to and I'm going to defeat them is fucking crazy. Because now it's like we just have cocktails and talk about this dumbass fucking show and like hit a couple golf balls around and laugh about it afterwards. Be like, oh, I lost $5 because of Nassau and we pressed. Okay, that's such a foreign concept to think.
Right. That's why I love golf, though, and that's what Frankie was saying when it got really competitive in Myrtle Beach, is because this is the only arena where we still have that available to us.
Dudes, we need to have a serious chat about your bathroom habits. It's time to quit shitty, scratchy toilet paper and switch to dude wipes. I actually, very real story, had one of my friends this last weekend on the trip, had to use the restroom. We were a little bit late, so we had to use the restroom on the golf course, similar to a lurch situation, and we actually had the dude wipes for him, and he had not used them before. And he came over afterwards and said, despite the fact that I just did that in the desert, that might have been one of the best experiences I've ever had because I've never actually used dude wipes before. And he goes, those are an incredible difference from shitty, scratchy paper all over your ass.
They do make an unpleasant experience pleasant.
On the packaging, it says like they've got vitamins infused and aloe infused. It's aloe infused toilets. Is that what we're calling them? Toilets?
Toilets.
Well, it's like if you were starting from scratch and you were like, okay, we need to invent something to clean your backside after you're going to the bathroom.
Asshole.
You would not create
You're
toilet
afraid of
paper.
the word asshole?
Asshole. Bunghole.
He's Big J. It's a little different for him.
Bunghole.
I'm
just saying,
cleaning
I'm
his
just saying,
fucking arsehole.
Dirt star?
It's time for the world to stop using dry paper to clean a wet situation.
Bottom of a balloon?
It is archaic.
Dude,
Balloon knot is what they call it?
That's what they
dude
that's
wipes
What they say, yeah.
Bottom of
will
a balloon.
change your life. Your butt will thank you, and you'll never look at an empty toilet paper roll the same way again. They got other great personal care products like Dude Powder and Dude Shower Body Wipes, perfect for other sticky situations. You can find everything on Amazon or Dude Wipes at Walmart and Targets nationwide.
Dude, it's worth it, man. I'm not even kidding. I've got it filled in every single one of my in the showers and the bathrooms in my house. There's no better feeling than knowing someone's going in there to do some business. They feel awkward already. Like they got to take a shit in your house. They're like checking around and make sure there's things to like mask the smell. But like now you're giving them a really nice experience on wiping their asshole. That is like top tier. If you want to be a good host, you have to have the moist towelettes. You have to, because there's no better way of cleaning something. Would you attack trying to clean something with a dry paper towel? No,
that'd be
you
a
gotta
mess.
have something wet.
You go to dudewipes.com, use the code 4play20. That's all one word, FOREPLAY 20, 4play20 for 20% off your entire order at dudewipes.com. I will say the Chicklets Cup got pretty real this year in February. It's like when you get out there, dude, you just don't want to lose to another person. It's almost like when they show those clips on like Planet Earth of like the male species fighting for the female. It's like I just can't let this other person out here defeat me. I just can't. I'm gonna defeat them, and I can't help it. I'm gonna not stop at any lengths until I win or I die. It's like you just can't help it.
So Trent, you played all the way through high school football?
Yeah. Yep.
Were you guys good?
Yeah.
You seen his highlight tape?
No, I have not.
It's on YouTube. Check it out. Barstool Trent
man.
football tape.
It's incredible.
I'm jealous.
We were okay. We didn't win any state titles or really even make any deep playoff runs. But I think senior year we were 7-2, so we were pretty decent. But
in like the high division or like the
yeah. What is it? 4A probably would be the division that we played in. We were okay, but we certainly weren't like they're not writing any books about our teams. But it was still super fucking fun. I played from 4th grade all the way through senior year, and I loved it.
Concussions? Any concussion issues?
None that were like medically diagnosed as concussions. And I don't remember ever getting my bell rung to the point. Like I remember a buddy of mine, we were playing, I think it was probably sophomore year, and got his bell rung real bad. And that was the first time I'd seen a concussion like that up close, to the point where I would ask, it was a Saturday morning when we were playing. And I was like, what day of the week do you think it is? And he was like, what are days of the week? And it's like, holy shit. That's when you really, that was a bad one. And they're all pretty bad, but there's different degrees. But I never got a concussion. I don't think I never broke a bone. I never did any of that stuff. I was pretty durable.
Hopefully, when you were playing football, nobody turned a blind eye to concussions. And I got to tell you something about the term, the blind eye, turn a blind eye.
It was
I was
so
like, where
obvious
is
that
this
you were
going?
doing something. It was like you had been grinding on that for 5 minutes over there.
It's when he
Not-
looks
not
away.
exact-
It's when he looks
Your
away.
little
exactly
box on my screen.
It's when he
you've
looks
just
away
been
from the camera.
sit-
It's when he looks
Not
like this,
exactly
then
the
you know
segue
something's up
king.
in that brain. Something's up in that brain when he looks away.
He's like, I figured it out. I got it. I'm gonna.
It's really
drop
interesting,
this on you.
actually. The British naval hero Admiral Horatio Nelson had a
Okay.
blind eye. Once, when the British forces signaled to have him stop attacking a fleet of Danish ships, he held up a telescope to his one blind eye and said, "I do not see the signal." He continued his vicious attack and was majorly victorious. So,
Wow.
yeah, so they were waving the white flag. He looks up with his fucking
Can't see it.
telescope. Nope, don't see anything. Let's keep it rolling.
That's ruthless.
So
And
it was
now
like
they
kind of
call
a bit.
that
He was doing a
term-
bit.
Turning a blind eye to ignore situations, facts, or reality.
What a bit. What he committed to the bit. That's pretty epic.
Yeah,
Turn
that
a
is
blind eye.
legit.
The more you
Turn
know,
a
Frankie
blind eye.
Facts.
Wow, that's nice.
Yeah.
I liked it. How about fun fact? My dad's high school football team, they tied the state championship.
Wow.
There was no mechanism for determining the winner.
Exactly. They literally they just hadn't whoever's on the committee hadn't put in the bylaws anything for a tie. And I guess he tells a story all the time, but I guess that it was like a total mud bowl, pouring rain, 6-6. And he still to this day is pissed that their kicker, who I guess was some hotshot cocky guy, missed the extra point to win the game. So they tied 6-6, and I guess right after the regulation was done, they all had a big meeting, and they were just like, "Yeah, we got nothing. We're just gonna. That's just a tie."
When your dad tells that tale, does he say it in a positive light or a negative? Because I could see some people
Hates
being
it.
like, "It was
Hates it.
okay."
He'd rather have lost, you think?
Totally, he doesn't
Yeah.
claim himself to be a champion at all.
Because some people
Oh.
would be like, it was nice that we split it. It was a good, hard-fought game, 6-6 in tough conditions, and we all get to take a piece of this title back home with us. Or you can be like,
No,
we should have played rock, paper, scissors afterwards to determine this thing.
No, he's pissed because my dad was strong side safety. And so I guess the quarterback on the other team went to Mizzou or something. It was he was a stud. And my dad looks at it as total pride that they shut this fucking asshole down and
Yeah.
just total disappointment that their kicker let him down because he in his mind believes that the defense, the boys, did everything that they needed to do to win a state championship, and they just couldn't get it done as a team.
It's
So he looks
interesting
at
that it
that
happened during that time because I feel like that generation's always like, there were no ties when I was younger.
Right.
It was always a winner and a loser. No one went home with 2 trophies. Like there was a winner, and you'd go home and you'd learn how to be a loser. So no, that's very interesting to hear that back in the day that they did have that.
Right. The
I
way
wish
those stories normally end is we took our best guy, they took their best guy, and they fought to the death.
Yeah.
And that's how we determine the
like
winner.
Achilles at the beginning of Troy when that giant guy comes
Right.
out and he just
Or they should have done a coin toss. Like, have you guys seen Friday Night Lights when they have to determine who gets into the playoffs and they do a coin toss at the bus stop and they ask they ask everybody like, what kind of quarter you got? One guy's like, I got a 1950 silver dollar. This guy's like, I just have a quarter.
Well, yeah, I've said this on the podcast before, but that generation that always says that us millennials are so soft and we love second place and third place and we give out all these trophies, they forget that they're the ones that fucking built the trophies and hand them out, not the little kids. I'll die on that hill being like, you guys made this fucking generation soft.
we're having
You
a little
gave the kids
generational
the
battle
iPad.
right now. Is that what we're
Well,
sticking
I'm
up
just
for
saying,
ourselves?
it's Christmas time. You got uncles and aunts and everyone, all the people. Trent mentioned it before. You have people in your family that you have to argue with, and everyone has politics and all this stuff. And I'm just getting ready for the debates. I'm ready for the backhanded, under the breath comments, being like, "You guys are just so soft.
Yeah.
You don't know."
I'm
what it was
fringe
like
Gen
back in the
Z.
day. It's like you're the one that gave the kids the iPad at the dinner table. I hate when they're like, "Oh, the kid doesn't even look up from the dinner table." Who bought the kid the iPad?
It's true.
You're like having an argument with nobody on this show.
Well, I'm borderline Gen Z. You guys are right in the middle of millennials And Trent, especially Trent and Riggs, you guys are like millennial.
All right,
I think I'm like fringe
Yep.
Gen Z, so I see things
I don't know what I am.
differently.
You're a
I think you're
millennial.
millennial as well.
29, still my 20s.
Yeah, I think millennial is like 90. Gen Z is like kind of 94, 95.
Frankie, it doesn't matter how old you are. Once you are a part of a certain category, you're going to be that forever. Frankie's like, I'm 29.
He becomes a baby
Like,
boomer.
Frankie, you and me will be the same distance in age forever. The whole time.
No, I got that. I
matter what.
didn't know how old you had to be in, like, to be born into Gen Z or millennials. What's the cutoff?
Oh boy, it might be 80. I actually don't know. I don't know, but you're
Whatever.
you're a millennial.
I have a game at home, a little like a table game called Mind the Gap, and it's like all questions from Gen Z, Gen X, Boomers, and then like something else. It's a very fun game. All the questions are really hard when you start getting older.
Yeah. Millennial is 1980 to 1995.
Oh yeah, I'm right in the sweet spot.
1980
of
to
that
1995.
Yeah.
I was born in 93.
millennial.
Yeah, so that puts you in there.
puppy.
Okay.
I remember I'm dating myself, but I like Y2K was a huge thing.
I
Didn't
remember.
A huge
Didn't
thing.
they
They didn't
think,
think
like,
the
all
computers were
the-
going to understand what was
Totally.
happening.
all the
The
banks were
belief
gonna
was
like
that
just
the
get
computers
fucked up.
weren't built with this idea that it's going to flip from 1999 to 2000 and understand it. So the whole system was just going to come crashing out. People were like, it was like COVID, except it was like COVID, but it didn't actually happen. Whereas COVID actually happened, it was like people were buying up toilet paper, paper towel. It
Yep.
was over. I mean, over.
And then as they were preparing for that switch, were people creating little codes so that pennies on the dollar were going into their own bank account? That's a little Office Space joke.
Office Space,
They did that for the turn of the century,
Oh,
didn't
yeah.
they?
right?
Oh,
They did.
yeah.
I believe that's what the premise was.
Yeah, it was like we have to change all of this because like the banks and like the computers don't understand that it's like it's got to switch from like 1999 to 2000. I'm pretty sure that's what it was. I'm like 99% sure that was for the turn of the millennium.
Something like
Was it the
that,
millennium? It was a millennium,
Yeah.
not the century. Fuck.
I think that's
Well,
right.
it was a century too.
All right. We got move on.
Right?
Moving on.
Someone throw me a fucking bone out here. It
It's
was a
both
turn
a
of the
century and a
century.
millennium, I think. Yeah.
I'm
I think
just
Okay.
trying to get to the point where the whole show is you just argue with yourself, Frankie. The whole show.
You know,
Dude, it'd be so easy. It'd be so easy to do that. Just throw two
literally
things at
like
him, and he's
we're
like, "Well, it's this
hosting-
thing," and then it's this thing actually.
Yeah, I'm a big
It's
fan
like
of Colin
we're-
Coward, and he talks by himself for 3 hours. And I think Frankie, I think
amazing.
it takes a special brain to do it, and I think you could do it. I think you could have a radio show by yourself where you just
I would
talk to
love
yourself
to
for
do
3
that.
hours.
But-
You're like,
but
what
you'd
are we
be-
talking about here? What's going
You'd
on?
be the only like solo hosted show that's also just like First Take, where there's like
Debate.
two guys just battling with each other. And it's just one guy on the show.
I genuinely think you brought up Colin Cowherd, and I know Mike Francesa, who I was less familiar with before I got involved with Barstool, but Cowherd was a national guy that I would listen to when I was much younger, and people kind of shit on them as dinosaurs or whatever, but that's a real skill. That is,
Hell yeah.
Oh,
dude,
yeah.
they do it for 3 or 4 hours, and you listen to it, and it's entertaining. Like it's not that you listen to it and you're like, this sucks. There's a reason that dude is a national radio host. It's really interesting. That is just such a
mean,
hard thing to do.
Francesa is must listen. Like
Oh.
his shows are fantastic.
Yeah.
He doesn't even know what he's talking about.
Was
Yeah, Cowherd's
Francesa
a
wasn't
verbal
national, was he, or was I? Am I wrong about that?
Well, no, it was WFAN, so you could get it on national. No, he wasn't national though.
Okay, I didn't
Yeah,
It's
want
in
to.
New York.
Yeah, Coward
Um,
is syndicated. Coward is a verbal gymnast. He's like, "Nyeh," and that's the one that really gets me. Is the different ways he moves his voice around is
The
really.
thing that always got me with Cowherd was the way he used pauses. I always thought that was so interesting, and the reason was to get people to tune back in, because you think about it, you're listening to a radio show in your car or whatever, and then if the guy goes silent for just long enough, you'll recheck in and be like, is my radio? And then they'll start talking again, and they get your attention again. He was the best at that.
He's just
That's
the best there
genius.
is. His
Should we try that?
analogies.
Should we
you know,
start
he's like-
doing that?
His analogies are incredible. He's talking about how Jordan is a Ferrari, whereas LeBron is a Tesla because he's newer and more efficient. I mean, the guy's the greatest there is. I could go on.
You
this
like
for
this
hours.
guy. Yeah, you're a
I
big fan. I can
love
tell.
Colin Coward. I love Colin Coward.
Shopify makes it simple to sell to anyone from anywhere. Whether you're selling warm-ups or wall hangers, it's time to start selling with Shopify and join the platform, simplifying commerce for millions of businesses worldwide. We do a little bit of a trip down memory lane on this very show, talking about how we built our business and our entire brand. Building a business is just fun. It's fulfilling. It's a very, very, very cool thing to do. And Shopify is going to help you do it. With Shopify, you'll customize your online store to your brand, discover new customers, build the relationships that create diehard fans. Shopify fields all the sales channels to grow a winning business, from an in-person POS system to an all-in-one e-commerce platform, even across social media platforms like TikTok, which Trent loves, Facebook, and Instagram. Thanks to 24/7 support and free on-demand business courses, Shopify is on your team every single step of the way. Sign up for a free trial at shopify.com/4, all lowercase. That is shopify.com/4 to start selling online today. Shopify.com/4. Tiger Woods, the match thing. That's Saturday under the lights. Is that what we got going on here this weekend?
Saturday under the lights in Tampa.
Is he going to play?
The course is awesome.
I think he's going to play. I mean,
Let's talk about the health of this guy.
I think he's buzzing around in the car. How about him just? I mean, Riggs, we missed your reaction on this. Him just casually dropping that he's shooting 63s and 64s back home, a medalist.
I love it. I mean, he ain't dropping that. There's nothing that man does when it comes to golf and talking to golf media that isn't really calculated. So him saying that stuff out there, putting it out into the world for everybody to know, that's very purposeful. And I took note of that. I thought that was, when he said that, I was like, okay, this guy's, he wants us to know he's not fucking done.
Yeah, you just got to figure out the walking. I think he's going to play so well. I got a feeling he's going to play so well, and the entire internet's going to be like, just get this man a golf cart. Just get this man a golf cart. And he's going to look in the eye, just like he looked in my eyes, dead in my eyes in the Bahamas. When I asked him, would you take a golf cart? He looked in my eyes and he said, I would never do that. So.
That was when you were, you got that question off this time. That was huge.
I got that question off, and there was no two ways about it. He's never going to do it. I think he'd rather not play golf.
Would the guys on this podcast think differently about him if he took a cart and won or was competing? Like, how would you guys feel about him taking a cart?
I would die on that sword and argue for him for the rest of my life. I would say that had he won with the leg, that they should give him two championships because he's winning with a broken leg. I mean, the guy legitimately cannot even walk. You're forcing a guy who can't compete physically to play the way everyone else is playing on a healthy leg. And however it got to that situation is not the point. Pat Perez's wife. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about the fact that this guy is still out there with a PGA Tour card trying to get this thing done, and that he should be able to have whatever it takes to get that ball in the hole. That's my argument.
It's a good one. Do you think after, let's say Tiger takes a cart and wins the Masters, and it's a huge deal and it's a beautiful thing, do you think there would be any pros who in their press conference would be like, well, he won the cart, so throw a little shot across the bow?
For sure.
Yeah, definitely.
Phil Mickelson would say something. I actually go the other way on this one. I think there's something almost like noble and romantic and sort of tragic about him just refusing to do this thing that he could very much do because that's out of principle. And he feels so strongly about the integrity of competition that he will not take a shortcut, even though he knows it is probably the only roadblock between him and challenging to break the PGA Tour record or to start his chase of Jack Nicklaus's major championship record.
I just think there's asterisks everywhere. Like a Jack won against like not as better athletes, and they played in smaller fields, and the courses were shorter and easier. Like there's always ways to compare different eras. Like if he just won a couple in a cart, I don't know. I don't see that being any different.
Like everyone else is wearing a cart.
Through Sam Snead's bullshit.
Sam Snead won against it was like a women's college event that he like showed up to and won. What?
Don't make me
crazy.
Go through Sam Snead's wins now.
Come on. At the end of the day, are we really going to compare all these guys as if they're equals? Like they play in different times, different things happen, different things are allowed. I mean, the clubs are getting different. Everything's just different. So you can't say like he had this and this guy didn't have this. There's a million things that he had.
The argument against that is the one constant almost is that people were walking the whole time.
Yeah, but like Tiger has to walk longer distances. Courses are longer.
Yeah, but the other guys he's playing against, it's a level playing field on that. He's playing. Yes, it's not a level comparison.
What if John
between him and
Daly
Jack.
would have won these recent years when he's taking his cart? Like, would anyone be fucking going crazy about it, or is it just because he's John Daly?
I
and
think
he's
it would be a
drinking
bad
Diet
look
Coke?
for. Yeah, I think it'd be a bad look for golf in general. Be like this fat lard one in a cart.
3 of Sam Snead's wins were
Here we
only
go.
36 holes. One
Start
tournament was only 18 holes.
All right, so
won
Tiger
the
can
Palm
walk for
Beach-
18 holes and then takes a cart. That's fair.
Snead won the Palm Beach round robin 5 times. What the fuck?
What does that mean? It was like the group stage of the World Cup.
The 36-hole tournament, the 1946 World Championship of Golf, which is one of his wins, had 4 players in it.
Come on.
4. Okay.
Yeah, if you counted the hero, Tiger would already have broken his record because Tiger won the hero like 5 times.
Sam Snead's got 6 wins against fields of 15 players or fewer. In the 1950 Crosby Pro-Am, instead of a playoff, 4 players just were tied and given the win.
Oh my god!
What are we doing here?
That's actually worse than I remember.
Oh, it's bad.
But Tiger Woods can't take a cart against Scotty Scheffler and Colin Morikawa and all these guys. It's like, come on.
You're arguing against Tiger. Tiger, he can do this.
I know.
He
I'm
is
just
well
I'm-
within his
I'm
rights
just
to put in a
getting my
request and be
argument
like,
ready. Like I'm
Okay.
I'm fighting off Big Cat and Dave and them saying like, how can you call
Yeah.
this a win? It's like, well, there's been all these weird things in the history of golf where guys have been given wins when they, now that they don't do those things. So
Sure, Mr. Snead's a great guy. I've heard nothing but positive things. Was a great guy. And we're not, I'm sure if they wanted to credit me with these fucking bullshit wins, I would probably take them. So it's not his fault. But
is there anything we could take away from Jack, or he won them all
compare this
legit?
guy?
I think he was pretty
He's
legit.
he was legit. That guy is pretty legit. But if we're going to be talking about legitimacy of wins here, I mean, I think it's just important to go through some of these Sam Snead W's. As he calls them.
I don't think he'll ever do it, but I think
No.
that, like, as a fan, I think it's bullshit to be like, oh, it's like another notch on his competitive belt. Fuck that, dude. I want to see this guy holding up trophies.
It's not. It's just like I feel like looking back in 30 years, it's just going to be something that people look at and they're like, you know what? That's an honorable man. That's a guy who felt so strongly about the integrity of competition that he was not willing to take a single shortcut.
Can't believe he's tied at 82. It's like he didn't just peel off one more.
Right.
And I thought he was going to do it. There was that period of time and in 2019 where I legitimately, when we watched him, you guys were there in Australia. You guys were causing a racket in my media center,
Yeah,
and I remember he was the greatest player on earth for
He
like
was
that
unreal.
3 months.
if he didn't go
stretch.
flying off that cliff, he was going to win 15 more tournaments.
He was unbelievable. I mean, can we talk about how good he was in Australia? You guys remember that?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, he was so
He was the best
sick
player in
at
that whole
Royal
thing?
Melbourne. Oh, by far, dude.
By
he was hitting
far.
every
Cannot
shot
believe
he was
got in
hitting.
that car accident.
That's a real shame. With that.
It's insane if you think about
Well,
how insane that is.
Yeah.
On the list of believable things and not believable things.
I know. I'm just saying, like, we already got through the comeback, and he was back to where we were grinding and fighting tooth and nail for him to get to. He was there. He was the top of the game again. Won the Masters, was dominating the fucking President's Cup. He was flying, being like,
Yep.
I was always saying, I need another reign of Tiger Woods. Like, I felt like I was too young, and we were about to get it. I felt like we were about to get it. He almost won the Open.
Did get it.
We did get it. He won the Masters. I know.
tournament.
I
mean, it
should have won the
was-
Open too.
And he finished second in the PGA. That
Remember
year
when we were
too.
at the fucking Ainsworth? We thought he was going to win the Open Championship.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
And then
he hit
Kisner
that
almost won it.
fucking wedge on the 10th hole out of that bunker to the front of the
Oh
green. We were
my
like, it's
God.
over. He's gonna win this tournament.
That was
And
insane.
then Francesco Molinari of all people fucking
spat down our throat. Not in the way I like it.
But I don't know if he wins there. I don't know that he ends up winning the Masters. And him winning the Masters, I think, was far cooler. Like him
Yeah.
Oh my God,
coming up
yeah.
18.
Come on.
Are you and the hug with Charlie in the waterworks and
All time.
Faldo not saying a fucking word for like 5 minutes? That was incredible when he did that.
Yeah,
I
I was
think
working
those
for
3
Sports
hours was
Illustrated.
the best sports moments of my life. The Islanders had just beaten the Penguins at the same time in the playoffs. We had 2 screens going, and I'm like looking right and left, being like, "What's happening right now? Is this
Dude, and
real?"
then Game of Thrones returned.
Game of Thrones
for the
was that
finals.
night?
Was that
That
night?
night? Yes,
It was.
dude. That was a
Remember-
crazy day.
That day
Remember,
was
we got
insane.
really lucky because they moved the tee times up because it was raining
Mhm,
like crazy. The thunderstorms were coming. So they, for the first time in history at the Masters, they teed off super early, and it gave us, selfishly, enough time to celebrate, record the podcast, and then
And
get
watch
home
Thrones.
and watch the finale.
And it helped
Yep.
Tiger, didn't it? Tiger says like that
Yep.
helped him a lot.
Definitely.
Yeah, because he was able to be in the final group with Finau and Molinari, so he was able to like keep his fucking vision right on him and stand basically in front of their golf balls when they were teeing off.
Yeah, I mean, if we look back at that picture at 12, those 5 minutes ruined Francesco Molinari's career. I remember I was working at Sports Illustrated at the time, and we had like a group chat. And do you guys remember the Sports Illustrated cover for when he won?
Oh yeah,
I remember when they put that, and they were like, "We're going no words for only the third time in our history," and the other two were like, "Mickey Mantle died" and "The Miracle on Ice," and
I never
that was a
even knew
moment.
that.
Yeah,
That's great.
It was a cover without words. I think there's only been 3. I know one of them is Mickey Mantle died, and I think the other one is The Miracle on Ice. And it was one of those moments where you're sitting there, you're like, yeah, this actually, we're not being prisoners of the moment. This moment is that special.
Right.
Dude. And then like 2 months later, the St. Louis Blues won the Stanley Cup. Are you fucking what a year 2019 was? We were on
Pre-pandemic,
Fuego.
we were flying as a society.
Went to
Yeah,
Australia.
We went to Australia. We
Went
just
to Pebble.
absolutely dusted Jeff Shackelford, put him in a home. Like what a year that was. And then then Kobe died, and then COVID, and everything was just way worse for a
I
couple
hope
of years.
our listeners
Way worse.
realize just like how insane this ride has been. Like, I feel like there's a lot of new golf brands popping up, and everyone's like, you got to keep with the times. It's like, go back and look at our fucking history of 2019 was an insane year. We went to Australia.
Is that when things really started like blowing up for you guys?
Well, yes, because Tiger won the Masters, and then we met him at
Then we
Pebble.
met him at Pebble Beach, and it was like the craziest shit of all time.
I think
I think
Riggs
he's
is
getting
getting
ice.
Sorry, I'm getting more ice water. I'm
oh,
very hungover.
wait,
so I gotta
what
get
do
some
you
more water.
what do you guys mean you met him at Pebble? Like, what was that?
We went to the U.S. Open, and he was putting. And I remember we had a radio station for Barstool Radio. We had a setup
No. This was not.
18th
Was this
hole.
Pebble or was this a Bethpage when the whole thing went down?
This is
Pebble.
Pebble.
Okay.
Pebble.
Definitely Pebble.
Yeah,
But we also Bethpage was maybe a bigger week for us. Frankly,
Well, that was his
on the
first
driving
tournament
range,
since.
getting lessons on Wednesday night from Bryson DeChambeau on the driving range at a major championship because
Yeah.
Bryson was trying to get him to stop skull fucking his wedges, and people from the crowd were
Going
heckling,
crazy.
and Bryson was telling Frankie, "Don't listen to them. Stay focused. Here's what I need you to do." In
that
a
video's
fucking
insane.
video that we put out during a major championship.
I had to run to the parking lot and just pull a lefty wedge out of someone's car. I don't even remember how I got
Wasn't it
So-
like Alex Beach's like caddy or something like that?
I think it
forget.
was. I
But
think
someone
that's
was
right.
like, I got a lefty club in my car. Like, let's go get it. And we fucking sprinted. And then that was also when we roasted the players walking in. Kiz showed
Yeah.
up with his wearing a hat. We talked about Justine Reed just walking across the putting green in front of
Yeah.
everyone, which was amazing.
Right.
Yeah, those
Cersei
were two good
Lannister.
ones. Bethpage were
Frankie could
Beth-
beat up Fitz. Also, that was that whole
That was
thing,
another
right?
one.
Yup.
Yeah.
That was that video. Dude, that was also for us. You're right, Frankie. That was the first week that we convinced Barstool Sports, like, send our whole crew to a golf tournament for a whole week. We stayed in like hotels on Long Island. We had Jake Bass was out there. Was Brennan Jones with us yet at that point? No,
I don't think
Jones
so.
got hired during the pandemic.
Nick
Jake
Faldo
Bass was
came to
with us out
Borelli's.
Yes, and we convinced Barstool, like, send us. We're not going to be in the office the whole week. We're going to be at a golf tournament. And they were like, all right, we'll see if you guys can get anything. And every day we put out banger after banger.
It was
of a
insane.
video and just had the biggest week ever. We were like, holy shit, we were credentialed media at a major championship, and it actually worked. That was insanity.
We were the
Dude,
first bad boys to get credentialed at a media event and shake things up like the world had never seen before. And I'll stand by that statement for the rest of my life. There's no,
That's a true statement.
it's just the truth. Like, no, like, golf media had no idea what was hitting them when we showed up to that driving range at Bethpage. They put my name on
Nope.
because it was the first time that workers at an event were starting to like kind of get a little loose with like allowing us to do things. They put my name up on the top tracer scoreboard when Bryson was teaching me, and everyone's watching all of my bladed wedges go next to like, I mean, Hideki Matsuyama was up there. It was like crazy, all the names that were up there. So yeah, it was fucking nuts that
Dude.
actually happened in real life.
Today's episode brought to you by our friends over at Whoop, the official fitness wearable of the PGA Tour. We talk a lot about Whoop. Whoop is awesome. I'm in a group actually with a bunch of my buddies from home, like a little communal Whoop group. So we get to just check on each other every day. Who was having one last night? Who's refreshed? Who's going to feel the best for this round of golf or whatever? Because we can just look at each other's recovery, your sleep, all that. Now they've got the Whoop 4.0. Which it's sleek. It's got screenless fitness wearable that tracks your sleep, your recovery, your daily activity. We've been wearing Whoop for years at this point, and the data provides you is very much just next level. You see Roy, JT, you're talking about it all the time. I see JT put up his Whoop recovery score. He uses it to obviously be one of the best golfers on planet Earth. We love it. I don't know. I couldn't even imagine not having it at this point. I need to know how much I'm sleeping. It's actually incredible how different the actual data is than you might think that it is. A lot of times you feel like you got 8 or 9 hours of sleep. You look and it was actually like 6.5 hours, and it tells you, how much good REM sleep, all that gives you all the good details.
That is what I've learned with the sleep in particular, where like you're saying, if you go to bed at 11 and you wake up at 7, you're like, oh, I got 8 hours of sleep. What you learn with the Whoop is that you have these sleep periods throughout the night where you're awake for a split second, and it tracks those, and that 8 hours ends up being like 7 hours and 15 minutes or 7 hours. So you might not be getting as much sleep as you think, and the Whoop will tell you exactly that.
Go to whoop.com. That's WHOOP.com now through December 18th. Save 20% off on their 12 and 24-month memberships. That's whoop.com now through December 18th. You can save 20%. That's nice. Happy birthday on December 18th.
Thanks. Thank
you can save... And at that point, that'll be your last chance to get 20% off their 12 and 24-month memberships at whoop.com. Dude, I remember Brooks Koepka, who obviously won the fucking tournament on Saturday, when he's leading the tournament, walked by on video and like fist pumped us after he made like a birdie on 7.
I have a crazy video of us following Brooks Koepka up from 17, from the par 3 up to the high tee box on 18. We're following him on Sunday, and like you get to see the visual of what a major champion walking up to his final hole looks like. It was a crazy view, and I'm like, are we allowed to be here right now? It's insane.
That was an electric ass tournament too, because he was collapsing and the New York fans were loving it, and they were chanting DJ's name.
Yep. Oh, and that was in Frankie's backyard, like Frankie's fucking home course, basically.
Oh yeah, Spieth said that was Jake Bass.
That's right.
Love y'all
Spieth,
stuff.
That was when Spieth, love y'all stuff. That's where that came from.
We saw him on the putting green because I love y'all stuff. It's like, holy shit, what's happening this week?
Ran into Harold Varner on the way out. He was double fisting Bud Lights. Like it was quite a time.
Oh yeah, there's that video of me. So my buddy, we call him the Guido Torpedo. He's one of my best friends. He was a state trooper, and he was assigned to Tiger Woods that week. Yep. So he was Tiger's personal police officer. So Guido Torpedo was sending me texts being like, everyone thinks Tiger's getting here at 7 a.m. He's actually getting here at 5:30 if you guys want to be in this side of the parking lot. And then he'd be like, yo, he's heading over to the driving range. And we would literally get to the driving range. And there's a video of me and the Guido Torpedo laughing behind Tiger. We're on Golf Channel. We're just standing there, and you see me. Tiger hits a shot, and I lick my lips. I literally watch the ball go up, and I go, and I just smack him. It was a crazy week. It was a fucking
that was his
week.
first tournament after the Masters. Because remember, he didn't play for like a month because he just let the whole thing sink in. And so when he showed up, it was like, is this guy just going to win all the
Jake
majors
just said, remember when I stole that kid's pen?
Oh my god, that's like a story that is hard to tell, honestly, unless you were there. That is one of the funniest things.
Danny, the Guido Torpedo obviously worked for Tiger the whole entire week, and he had this plan. He had a professional. He found a shot on Getty Images of him standing right next to Tiger Woods, like legit on the tee box, and he's like wearing his fucking big cap, and Tiger's looking like Tiger. And he printed it out in black and white, and he's like, I want him to sign this in a marker. Like I want to bring it to him. I have to walk him to his car after the tournament, and I want to bring it to him. So Anthony, he was helping me the whole entire week, was like, hey, can you get me a marker? He's texting me. He's like, I'm walking to this guy's car now. Can you find me a marker? And we were on the putting green. And I'm looking around. I'm like, where the fuck am I going to get a marker? So we go over to like the little fan section where all the little kids are
autographs. Yeah.
Kids are getting autographs from Victor Hovland and Jordan Spieth. And I go, does anyone have a marker around here? And this kid gives me his marker. And I'm like, thank you, man. I'll give this right back. So I run and give Anthony this marker. He goes to Tiger's thing, gets everything signed. Insane, by the way. You have to see this guy's stuff. He's got like 6 different things, 2 Anthony signed or whatever. An hour goes by and the Guido Torpedo has left. Like he never brought the pen back.
Tiger took the pen, right?
Stole that kid's pen.
So now we're still standing on this putting green, kind of waiting for things to happen. We're waiting for Spieth to come over, hopefully Rory. And the kid just a very faint voice back. You got that pen back? So, I'm waiting for the guy. I'm waiting.
He yelled, he screamed, am I ever going to get my marker back? Even if, hey, Jake, if we don't put this out, I want my own personal copy of the marker saga because this is fucking ridiculous.
Am I ever going to get my thing back? I don't know, man. At this point, there is no way to know if you're ever going to get your goddamn marker back. So I'm ignoring him now. I'm ignoring the kid. I'm like, I have my back to him. I said, oh my God, this fucking kid.
How old are we talking?
7, 6. So I'm like, guys, he won't fucking drop this thing. And it's just him now. It's just him. Because this was Friday. Did Tiger miss that cut?
He missed the cut.
Yeah.
So this was Friday.
Me and Trent were trying to like distance ourselves from Frankie at this point.
Friday
like,
night,
don't bring your fucking pen saga over.
Friday night, Tiger just missed the cut. It's like it's about to get dark, and this kid's out there just grinding, trying to get fucking autographs. And I stole his only marker. I'm telling you, he was the only one out there, so no one else would give him a marker. So another player walks by and he goes, "Can I get that marker back?" There's a guy walking right here, and I'm like, dude, I don't have a fucking marker for this kid. So. I mean, this went on so much that we ended up walking away, and he's screaming to the top of. We walk across one of those player. We were going up the player bridges.
Yeah.
And he's screaming to us. Are you just not going to give me my pen ever? He's like crying. Like, look at the dad. Like, he stole it. He stole the pen. I don't have, and the dad's looking at me like, I don't know. You like don't have a pen anymore, dude.
Oh God.
You're a pen
Turns
thief.
out I never gave him the pen. Oh, and the finale of this story is. Earlier in that day, Justin Thomas was paired up with Tiger Woods and saw me standing there looking at Tiger. He goes into Tiger Woods' bag, takes one of the balls out and tosses it at me. And I wasn't even paying attention. It hits me in the foot. And he goes, "Frankie, look down." And we had never had any interaction with JT at this point.
Bridgestone with the tiger on it.
Yeah. Bridgestone Tiger, and I'm like, holy shit! Out of his bag, it was still warm. I could feel it. It was like you knew Tiger had touched this thing. It just smelled like greatness. Like everything about it was warm, moist. We knew he sweat on it. So I'm holding this thing. Turns out at the end of the night, I had to fucking go over to this little kid and give him that ball. And I was like, "Listen, I lost your fucking marker.
That's nice.
I know that you fucking didn't get any autographs from Alex Beach, but here's Tiger Woods' golf ball from his bag that he used today."
It was such an internal dilemma, and we were all sitting there, and this kid again is like, it's like the Titanic's going down, and he's screaming as he's getting dragged under, like, "Where's my pen?" And we're like. Frankie's like, "Dude, I got nothing." And then we were like, "Dude, you know what you do have?" And you're like, "The Tiger golf ball." And we're like, "Yep." And you for like 10 minutes, you're like, "Fuck, I really don't know if I can do that." And eventually you're like, "I'm going to give him the golf ball." And it was.
Dude, I get put in these situations all the time. Remember when we were in New Orleans? In New Orleans, I'm playing in that 3-hole celebrity shootout with Trent, and I had just hit the ball like right next to the hole with fucking Boomer, and all these guys were going crazy. It was like the craziest fucking athletic achievement I've ever had in my life. And this little kid goes, "Can I have your hat?" And I was just like, fuck. It's on hole like 2. I'm like, I don't want to give him my hat. And the whole crowd... Dude, there was like 1,000 people following us. The whole crowd's like, "Give him the hat." I was just like, fuck, I don't want to give this kid my hat. But I gave him my hat. Like, I just walked around with no hat on. Then I'd like ask them for like a St. Jude Children's Hospital hat that didn't fit me. And I look ridiculous in all the photos. It's just like, come on, man. You just got to give the kids a fucking piece of flair, I guess. It's just like, that's the part of the job. I just wasn't prepared for any of that.
Did you ever get another Tiger ball?
I gotta think. You know what? I think Joey had heard that story and tossed me one. Remember that?
Yeah.
I think so. A couple days later or something.
Couple
That's
days later,
also
yeah.
where the Boss Man nickname came from, and I'm having trouble remembering who came up with it.
I
Robbie
know
Mack?
it was Robbie Mack, and it was after a round, and we were hanging with him, shooting the shit. He's telling stories, and we're in heaven because we're so giddy over the whole deal. And then Tiger came walking around the corner, and he just abruptly, Robbie Mack, without saying a word to like Tiger, he just ended his conversation with us and just goes, "Oh, there's the Boss Man. I gotta go." And we, after that, took the nickname the Boss Man.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty awesome. It's pretty epic.
That was a good week. It was a good
Yeah.
week.
So good.
Rob kind
Fuck.
of walks around with a couple of those balls in his pocket. It's a pretty cool thing to be able to give out to people.
For sure.
True.
Like he'll see like a 5-year-old in the crowd, and he'll just kind of go over there and hand him a ball and just make the guys weak.
You know,
just a
and
really-
it's
really
crazy
cool
that
thing to
like
have.
the shock factor was obviously there at that time. It was 2019, so it's like it felt different. It was our first time doing it, but like we're still getting these moments as it goes on. Like, I mean, this year at the U.S.
Tulsa.
Open, Tulsa was insane. Trent and I went in Boston, had a fucking full blown conversation with Rory McIlroy on the driving range for the first time, like really ever, that he acknowledged us during an event, and we like congratulated him on winning the Canadian Open. It was insane. We're like, what's actually happening? And that video did like 1 million views. We were like, this is fucking Rory right now.
Dude, 7 months ago, we walked the fairway.
Oh
with
my
Tiger Woods.
God. Yeah.
That was
I
7
know.
months ago. That feels like
Holy
7 years ago.
shit.
That was 7 months ago.
Dude, we walked the fairway with Tiger Woods at the PGA Championship. Riggs hit him on the fucking arm, and he made a joke with him.
I
We
have a
walked
funny
with him for an
story.
hour.
I have a funny
Dude,
story
Trent
about that.
basically fell in the creek when we were walking around with Tiger Woods.
I did.
That's actually, all things considered, that was the craziest thing that's ever happened to us. And the fact that only happened 6 months ago just shows like this fucking ship is still rising. It's like it's fucking insane.
So that was on a Monday, I believe, because I remember I got there on Monday night and our Slack was blowing up because your guys' stuff was going crazy, and they were like, "Dan, like, why aren't you there?" And I'm like, "You." What? Like, do you think that I'm gonna I'm gonna walk with him and then someone's gonna video it and then there's gonna be 5 million people that watch? Like, what do you mean? What? I just remember that was such a big thing and went so crazy that they were like, Dan, do something. I'm like, I can't.
Well, we had also heard that like some very real like TV entities were mad that happened because they were like, I thought we want to get our time with Tiger. Why are these 3 guys getting time with Tiger, when in reality it was just organic because Frankie has, established a relationship with Joey LaCava, and Rangers, Islanders, they play golf together. We've all played golf together. And then when we were heading to the 17th tee or whatever it was, or the fairway, Joey was like, come on and join us. Like, that's what people don't get sometimes, is that like all these big, I mean, Barstool's big now, but all these other media companies, they want their time because maybe they've paid for it, or they've been promised this or that from people who aren't even Tiger's real inner circle. And then there's guys like us come around where we've just sort of whatever way worked our way into it, been friendly, talked to the guys around him, where they're just like, yeah, come walk the fairway. We know that you're normal guys, so come on in the fairway and we'll walk a couple holes and it'll be great. That to me has ultimately been the difference with what we've done and then what these other big media companies try to do.
Right. That's absolutely right. Yeah, and I know that there's always whispers of like, oh, that must be part of their deal with TaylorMade or something. It's like, no, they just like us. And I will say, like, we publicly suck Tiger's dick all the time. So he better like us because we're out there. I mean, so if he's going to have an opinion on it, it's like we basically have been North Korean media for him at times. We need to be. So yeah, obviously if there's one guy that might be like, okay, these guys usually do me a couple favors or whatever, cover me favorably. That's our number one guy. So it's still the most surreal thing in the world that we got to walk the fairway with him, and that was not that long ago. That feels like.
By the way, Jake Bass has like all this unreleased footage of Markergate that we never really put out. So he's going to put it, if you're listening to this, go to YouTube. He's going to put this into the YouTube version of the podcast, and you can watch exactly what we were just describing. It's as dramatic and anxiety filled as you can imagine. I remember
that too, because that's why I said before you told the story, the story was actually great. And I had said before you started, like, it's hard to tell if you weren't there. And I remember we had that same discussion when we were putting the video together, because there weren't like enough things, but now that people know the context of the whole thing, it's an insanely funny situation.
Yeah.
It's you. It's just perfect that it's you in this dilemma the whole time. So I think this whole conversation started because we're talking Tiger Woods is playing in a match on Saturday night. Great match. Big names: Rory, Spieth, JT, Tiger, under the lights. These are fun. I know people like to shit on them, which is kind of like when people shit on our merch. It's like, you don't have to watch this. So if you're shitting on it, you're an idiot. Like, don't turn on your stream or on your TV. I love these. I think they're great. They're different. You get some personality. You get to watch Tiger Woods hit golf shots. This is basically the same format, or, whatever, one of these matches they did at Paynes Valley, and we got some great clips out of that. That was the Rory and JT Domino's conversation. Remember that conversation?
Oh, yeah. Really good.
It's so good. It's just so good. It's so good.
He's right.
He is right. It's fucking delicious. So you get so much good stuff from these, and no, it's not Tiger trying to win the Masters and ending Francesco Molinari's career. You're not going to get something like that, but you're going to get some entertainment. Tiger's have played golf. We haven't seen his golf game since the old course at St. Andrews. So yeah, I'm excited.
I believe I was a contributor. Maybe the whole show was, but I'll put it on me for sure that, like, when the Brooks Bryson thing happened, people were down on it because it had kind of fizzled. It was, you were like, it's not, if it had happened 6 months or 12 months before it's happening, then it would have been the hottest thing in the streets. Obviously, we had the connection where Dave and Brooks were supposed to play, so we weren't thrilled about that. But with these four guys, like, they're going to be interesting no matter what. Certainly with Tiger and the situation that he's in now, like, how's he going to look? He didn't play when he was supposed to play. Now he's going to play. He's going to have a car. Like, that makes this super interesting, and the personalities that are involved are just larger than life.
Yeah, I'm really excited. Did you guys watch the hero shot thing from this last week? I think we talked about this a little bit, where he was commenting on Max. Like, that was cool. Great. That was really cool. And hearing Tiger talk about other people's swings, I think, is really cool. Got me really excited for the golf league. I was talking about this on the podcast earlier. Yeah, these guys are just like four really, really good personalities, and guys are starting to give Tiger shit in ways that, like, I don't know if they used to. Did you notice Tommy Fleetwood? So we were talking about how Tiger and Riggs, I don't know if you heard this part, but they didn't show this on the video, but Tiger hit 6 wedges and not one of them found dry land. It was actually like kind of dark and like kind of sad in the competition he got up there.
Okay, I don't want to talk about that.
And Tommy Fleetwood's like, you ever played golf before, Tiger? I was like, wow, that was big from Tommy, lad. I wasn't expecting that.
I like that.
I think JT's gonna and JT obviously is close enough to Tiger where he feels like he could give him crap for anything. So I think we're gonna hear some funny stuff on Saturday.
All these guys seem closer than ever now, right? Especially with the Rory Tiger partnership, the Liz stuff meetings, going crazy.
Dude, they had this meeting in the Bahamas at 4, because I was supposed to do an interview at 4:00 on Tuesday, and I got a text being like, hey, we have another one of these meetings.
Right.
And so they watched the end of the soccer game, and then they had this meeting where they just discussed the future of the PGA Tour, and they swore themselves to secrecy, and I couldn't get a freaking word out of anybody. I went to all my guys, and they said, sorry, Dan, not this one.
I do think that'll make for a better product. Maybe not in like a super noticeable way, but just having guys who are closer is going to be a better rapport between the four of them.
100%.
Yeah. You're going to get a lot of Ricky Fowlers where they congratulate their buddy on the green afterwards. Bunch of that.
Yeah.
So my friend Jeremy, I'm actually going to name one of them this time. My friend Jeremy finally, a couple weeks ago, committed. He bought a pair of G4s. He'd been wearing other stuff forever. Bought a pair of G4s. He wore them this week for the first time on our little golf trip. And he said about halfway through the round, he goes, all right, I got to be honest. I heard you guys hyping them up. He got the MG4s, MG4 Pluses, which are the style that we always call the most comfortable shoe on planet Earth. He goes, I know you guys have been hyping them up. I wasn't expecting to be as impressed as I am. And he goes, these are the most comfortable shoes I've ever worn, and it's not even close.
They make a real difference. Difference.
They make every other golf shoe look or feel unwearable.
True.
Did Jeremy speak that in class?
What?
Jeremy spoke.
I don't know that reference.
Come on,
not
Trent.
Good.
Trent, what is it?
I didn't know. I don't know that either.
Pearl Jam, Jeremy.
Wait, say again.
Pearl Jam.
Oh, I'm not a big Pearl Jam guy.
Jeremy spoke.
Okay. Yeah,
class today.
I don't know. If, I would be curious what percentage of the country would get that off the dome. I'm just not. I guess I'm not a big Pearl Jam guy, so I apologize.
G4 has teed up some new limited edition releases just in time for me to add them to my wish list for the holidays. Consider getting ahead
that, by the way.
of the gifting game.
You're sounding good.
Enjoy complimentary shipping on your order before it's too late. The Gallivanters are, I think, probably the best all-around classy shoe in golf. The MG4 Pluses, which is what I wear most of the time, is insanely comfortable, and they're awesome. They got all kinds of different color styles. So go check them out. Check out their holiday gift guide for the average golfer or golf fan in your life. It's a great gift. It's gift season. The MG4 X2s, is that what we're calling them, Jake Bass? Because I know that we were
4X2.
Yep. MG4 X2s are sort of the more the casual street shoe that you can also wear on the golf course that are phenomenal. So they got a bunch of really, really, really good options. Check out their site. Order soon to ensure your gifts are delivered before the holidays by going to g4.com/4 to get 10% off your first order today. Then we've got this weekend is the QBE. Used to be the Shark Shootout. Is that right? And
It's
now
the anti-shark shootout.
It's just, not right. Any other fish shootout is basically what they're calling it now. So we got Kiz and Max Homa are together. We got a boost in the Barstool Sports book. Plus 750, I think it is, that those two guys win the whole thing. Max Homa's obviously having an unbelievable year. Kiz is a phenomenal putter. So them in this format, it's just a scramble?
I think is it just a scramble? I get this one because I know with Zurich they do 1 day alternate shot,
right,
and 1 day
right.
best ball. I don't know if this is just a scramble.
We did a little alternate shot in the afternoons for the emergency 9 rounds this last week when my buddies were in town, and I know we did it at Big Cedar Lodge. I think we did it 1 round, but alternate shot is way underrated. We as a society of golf people that like golf, we need to start playing alternate shot more. It's
totally
fantastic.
agree. And I think it was great at the Barstool Classic Championship. And we've got videos coming out in the future where we did an alternate shot match. It's just super fun for the people involved. And I think it's going to be really entertaining for people that watch. It's just different. It's really fun. And I agree. I think we should incorporate in our stuff way more.
Yeah. The beginning of ours, for I think Frankie was ready to kill me, which is what's awesome about alternate shot. It's like it just flips it. It's so pressure packed.
I don't think I've ever hit better drives in my life, and it's just like nothing was really happening. It's just like we kept losing holes. I'm like, man, I don't know how much more you're going to get out of me today.
At one point, I found out that Frankie turned to the camera and was like, if he doesn't hit the green in regulation here, I'm going to quit. I'm quitting about it.
You get that type of dynamic that you just never get with regular, stroke
Dude,
play
it's so
or whatever
much
you're
fun.
doing.
I guess if you're going on like a trip, it's hard to say you're not going to play your own ball. I know a lot of people are going to feel that way, but if you get with your group of buddies that you play golf with all the time, you're at your local public course or you're at your local country club, it's insane to not include alternate shot like once a week. I'm talking like that's how much fun it is. Like get your groups together, get your standings ready, see who the best pairings are, and let's breeze through this round of golf because it's fast. It's really, really fast. You're playing
that's the key though. That's the key though, I think, is that it can't be the main event, right? If you're playing once a week, you're not going to want to play alternate shot. But if you're on a trip or if you play with your group all the time, it's absolutely worth throwing in the rotation.
It's good for the camaraderie and the team chem too, because you roll up to the tee and you don't even have a club. You're just all in on basically
hyping your boy up. Yeah,
it's great. But yeah, other than that, I don't have much else. I think we're pretty much done here.
I talked about yesterday on the podcast that I had a rattling going on in the top, like above my bed. So we have this whole situation above our room. It's like all the air conditioning and the heating units and the condensate pumps and all this bullshit that's going on in the attic. And around like 11 or 12 o'clock every night, it sounds like a little mini man is just hitting this fucking pipe with a hammer. Never really heard anything like it. So I think it's the gas. So I had the gas guy come, and the gas guy said everything from outside the house is perfect. They attached a new gas line. They did the whole thing. So I'm like, he goes, once the pipes go into the house, we can no longer help you. Because obviously you can maneuver pipes however you want once you're doing like reconstructions. And that's not on the gas company's watch. You know what I mean? Like
It's not their jurisdiction.
It's not their jurisdiction to come into the house and see what you've done and if you've messed anything up. That's not their problem. So I'm hearing this noise and no one knows what it is. Like, you know, we've got family members that are HVAC people. They're like, it can't be the fucking heating and all this system. I don't understand. It's like, whatever. They're giving me all these explanations. You're pulling in cool air from the outside and it's not fucking going up a chimney. It's going outside. It makes me want to fucking puke. All I know is, as a simple man, I'm hearing a noise, right? And I keep telling people, you guys can give me all the fucking words you want. I'm still hearing that noise. So I said, what if I stake this thing out? Because every time someone's come over, I've bumped up the heat all the way, and then we stand there and we sip on water and we talk, and we're like, when the fuck is this thing going to make a noise? It never does. So much to the fact that I think the place is haunted, because every time someone goes in the attic to check it or I pump up the heat, nothing makes a noise. No other person other than me has heard this noise yet. So I'm either going insane, it's haunted, or we're just bad luck. So last night, I staked this thing out. I went upstairs in the attic. I got a pillow. I put it under my ass. I brought my phone upstairs and I sat there. 20 minutes went by. Freezing up there, by the way. You know, an attic's fucking cold. It's just wood. You can like hear the outside. 20 minutes go by. 40 minutes go by. 40 minutes is a long time to be sitting in an attic.
That is a long time to be sitting in a dark attic.
An hour and 20 minutes goes by. And now I'm getting to the point where I'm saying, I've stood up here for an hour and 20 minutes. If I go downstairs and I don't hear this noise, and then I hear it tonight, I'm going to fucking light this place on fire. It's gotten so long that I have to stay up here all night. I should have just quit at 20. You know what I mean? 20 minutes here and there.
You invested
go up
too
there.
much.
An hour and 20 minutes. Dude, I tell you guys, I shit you not. I sat up there for 2 hours. I went through all the systems. It's on a schedule. So I knew at like 11:35, the heat was going to kick back on and then it was going to kick off because we like it cold at night. So I knew like, all right, I got to just get past 11:35. I've already been up here an hour and 30 minutes, but I got to get to 11:35. I have to, because I know 11:35 comes, nothing. This thing's not even turning on because it's just fucking just sitting there. I'm staring at it like I'm trying to will this thing to make this noise. This sounds like a made up Frankie story. I go downstairs after an hour, like about 2 hours. It was like an hour and 50 minutes. I go downstairs. I close up the fucking ladder. I close up the attic. I go in. I take my contacts out. I brush my teeth. I wash my hands. I lay down. I turn on Wednesday from Netflix. I'm sitting there watching Netflix. 10 minutes into the show, all of a sudden I hear like the fucking man is upstairs hitting my fucking pipes. I said, no way. I'm screaming now. I'm screaming in the house at 1 o'clock in the morning, being like, are you fucking kidding me? I run over there, try and get a video of it. It stops. I swear this place is haunted. I swear it's haunted. I sat there for 2 fucking hours. I didn't hear a word. So tonight,
what were you doing? Just death scrolling Twitter?
I was just, on Twitter, searching all the hubs you could possibly find, doing whatever I was. I was freezing up there.
I know what you were doing.
But wait,
I was freezing.
Did you have your phone? Were you videoing it up there, like through the 2 hours?
I just I had.
You don't
like
want to
my
be videoing what he was doing.
I had my no, you didn't. I had my phone open, but if you heard the noise, it goes on for 5 or 6 seconds. So I knew I'd have enough time to open up the thing, and then at least I'd see. Like I gotta see which pipe it's coming from. It's coming from something. Then I realized, maybe you just can't hear it from the attic. You can only hear it from like within the walls. Like now I was driving myself insane.
Dude,
maybe you can't. Maybe it's not in the attic. Maybe the noise is not in the attic, even though it has to be.
Put your Simply Safe camera up there.
I thought about that also, but Simply Safe is motion censored, so I don't know.
Then if that goes off, then you got a real problem.
Then I have a real problem.
Oh yeah,
dude, my Simply Safe goes off in my backyard all the time. Then I'll check it and there's no one there, and I'm like, well, that's just unfortunate. You know what I mean? Like
that used to happen. We had the security lights in our backyard growing up, where the lights will come on if it senses motion, and the light would come on, and I'd stick my head out there, and I'd be like, well, that's just something I'm gonna have to deal with for the next 8 hours until that sun comes up. I got to deal with that.
Well, we've got like this palm tree thing that I bought for the summer. It's like in a plant. It's in a planter, and it kind of like sways. And now it's like dead. It's obviously the winter, but it kind of sways, and I think that sets it off from time to time. And I'll just check. It'll be like, you have motion in your backyard, and I'm like, do I though? Because I'm looking, and there's nobody there. So and it'll be at night too. It's like, yeesh, I don't like that. But yeah, so tonight's stakeout number 2, I will find this noise. Once I get it, I'll show you guys. We'll plug it into the podcast.
Good. All right, we're done here. We'll be back next week per usual. We'll have to respond and react to Tiger Woods playing in the match and the whole deal.
Wow.
Hopefully, Kiz and Homa win the shootout, and I hope everybody has a great weekend. Hit it hard.
Hit it hard.
Hit it hard.